All right, ladies and gentlemen, my great friend Casey Hamilton is in the house today, soon to be yours. Casey, welcome to the show. How are you? Where are you joining in from today?
Thanks, Azar. I am doing great. I am coming to you from Newark, Ohio, just outside of Columbus, and frozen tundra that it is right now.
I'm in Niagara Falls, Canada, so it can be cooler than Canada right now. But
I think you got me.
yeah, so welcome to show. You got a really interesting story, Casey. A really great product for marketing agencies as well as top of the funnel filler. Like I'm really excited about talking about exact match marketing. Most of your time is being spent running exact match marketing, but you're a 15-year marketing agency veteran. You've been running your own agency as well, which still runs to date. Tell me a little bit about what got you started in the marketing world. How did you launch your first agency? And then how did Exact Match came out of it?
Absolutely. I have no business probably being in marketing. I never started anything like this. I actually went to Bible college. I was actually a pastor for a while and worked at camps and things like that and thought that was going to be my life. And my best friend from college and I were working for a curriculum company, and he was the VP of marketing, and I was doing sales across 13 states. And we were sitting down. I was out there at the headquarters at least for a week every month, and got to talking to him and thought, man, what we're doing for this company, we could probably help a lot of other people do. And we decided to start our own marketing company back in 2010. 15 years ago, we launched and we did six figures in 6 months and started to just build from there and grow the company. I had no idea what any of the CPC and CPA and any of that even stood for. I was calling people and they're like, "So what's your CPA?" And I'm like, "Why do you want to know my accountant?" I literally had no clue starting out. But I spent 5 years working with him and we grew that company. It was like going to college, but for real, and learning everything in the marketing side of things. And then he actually started another company. It was a website builder for churches, and I rebranded my agency and started it and pushed forward from there. Went from more of a national down to a local clientele at that point with Uncommon Reach, which is my agency. And then about 4 years ago, I was started to look at different things that we were doing. And a good friend of mine that was in my life at that point, he and I started talking about multi-million dollar ideas every Thursday at 3 p.m. And so, sitting in a coffee shop, walking through this stuff day in and day out, and I looked at him one day. I said, either we're going to do one of these things or we're going to stop talking about it altogether. And Exact Match was born and have been running it now for 4 years and white labeled this to now over 350 other digital marketing agencies across the country.
Wow, what a phenomenal journey, man. Let me go back to when you first started in the marketing niche. How did it feel? You're this person, you're a salesman at that time across 13 different states. I bet that was adventurous. You bring that experience into your agency. First 6 months, you guys did six figures. So basically, is that it? You left the job and then the agency was your full-time gig after that, 2010 and onward?
Yeah, so the beginning of 2011, both myself and my friend that I started this with, we got let go by the company. They let 75% of their people go. So it was nice to have that already established and our website was built.
Mm.
We were ready at that point, but man, it was a scary time. Like I didn't know what I was doing, and I had four kids at home. My wife was actually, yeah, I had four kids at that point. My wife was homeschooling our children, which we've done all the way through. And yeah, it was a very scary thing to do to just quit the job and get started and push out. But with that risk comes reward. So just worked hard at that.
Yeah, becoming that agency owner, such a fulfilling thing. And then you start your journey, right? And that's the start of it. Little did you know, Casey, you were just starting out your agency. And I don't know how it's been for you, but my agency journey started around the same time, 2008 and 2011. I went full time. I was working at Best Buy. And sales, same thing. I was doing sales and all of that stuff. And then, my agency started out finally. And it was such a great experience building that thing out, finally knowing that, hey, I can build a business. I can collect money from people for stuff that I don't know so much about, a little bit better than everybody else. And using contractor and just running with it consistently, man. Like you've been running it for the last 15 years. So that's a decade and a half of and going to college and getting paid for it, like you said. So we underestimate the value of all of that stuff that we've done, because had you not done that, I bet Exact Match would never have come to fruition.
Absolutely not. And there's always been this thing in me to I want to start. I want to push forward and do something new and adventurous. And I have a really high tolerance for risk, which I think drives my wife crazy. No, man, I can see the future. I know what's coming. Like it's going to be good. And
It's
half the
like, baby,
time
we got enough, right? Let's be thankful. Yeah, yeah, we got enough, but why can't we do a world-changing change? Like it's possible. We only, what do the kids say? YOLO these days. Hey, you only live once, man. Let's build a bigger business, a bigger company. Why
yeah,
not be
I
afraid
wanted to
of
do
that?
something, want to do something great with my life. I didn't
Mhm.
want it just to be normal. I wanted to build something that I could be proud of and something that would be great. And you're right. If we wouldn't have gone down this path, I never would have had Exact Match. Exact Match has
Mhm.
been a very different thing in the software. And I always say that I'm the pretty face, which is of this company anyway. I got some really smart people behind me, which is a sad statement just in and of itself. But there's some awesome folks that surround me in this thing now that have really we've got the right people in the right seats in the bus, and it's been good and it's challenging, man. If I look back over the years, both with the agency and with the software company, man, you want to talk about some ups and downs. If I have to say, it's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's start with this, and I'm going to ask you this very interesting question from your agency days, and we're going to get into our three more question segment over here as well. And my first question to you is that tell me a story from your agency days that you still look back at and laugh out crazy. Maybe a client story, like just something that out there that we can all laugh about now.
Yeah. Hmm. As I look back at this, that first time that going out and just my first time going out and trying to get my first clients and talking on the phone, having no idea what I was doing. I literally was calling out and they're like, so tell me about your cost per or your CPA and your CPC and those kinds of things. And I'm like, I know what CPC is, but CPA, like why do you want to know about my accountant? What's that have to do with anything that we're doing at this moment? So just going back now and going, man, I was so clueless. I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning. But man, it's neat how you can learn along the way. That was the beauty of digital marketing, is that if you surround yourself with good people and really dive into these things. Now that I look back, man, that seems funny, but I've grown and I still look at myself sometimes like I don't know what I'm doing, but then I sit down and I hear myself talk and I'm like, wait a minute, I do know this stuff. Like I still feel like I'm unprepared or I'm not the one that
Yeah.
can do it, but I'm like, I know more than most people that are around me. And so that's been at least comforting now. I can face just about every conversation and know what I'm talking about. So.
Yeah, and I think that's when I started really connecting with other agency owners through RepStack. I realized that a lot of agency owners went through a very similar journey that I did, where it was a grueling journey, or less to say the least, right? It was 10, 15 years. A lot of these guys who've got doing running great agencies who are multiple seven figures now, a lot of them, some of them eight figures as well. They all have very similar stories, and then the common point though is what you went through, Casey, is that they kept at it, at it, and then all of a sudden you get a break, you get a joint venture, you get to grow your agency. You're ready for that time. It does take a little bit time, but enjoy that journey, learn the lessons. You're getting paid for it as well. It's a lot of fun, and hang in there because your big break is right around the corner. So here's my another question for you, Casey. So I'm going to talk a little bit about your product now. So what are some of the key benefits of real-time data for businesses? specifically talking about exact match marketing?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's probably been when I first started this. I was doing everything that everybody else was doing. We were doing Google ads, we were doing just regular SEO and trying to move the needle for folks and make this work. So getting into the data side, I knew that there was power here. I knew that there were things that we could do that could just be better. But as the cost of Google ads started to go up and some of the effectiveness seemed to go down and trying to figure out how can we make this work, that's what really drove us here to start Exact Match. And so now inside of that, we've got the two different products that are there. One will identify the people that come to your website, and that's not necessarily exclusively to us. We feel we do it better and our pricing is really good. But the second one was really how do you get and find the people that are searching in your area for a product and be able to have all of their information so that you can go out and market to them. So you're creating an intent-based audience for way less than the cost of a PPC click. You actually get all of their information. And now I was able to build out that audience, retarget them, and increase the ability to get them to convert through our systems. And I look at this, that top of funnel filler, we're like the fuel that charges this engine of marketing to make it do great things. So biggest advantage is you don't have to go out looking for them. We identify everybody that raised their hand and says, I'm interested in your product, your service, your competitor, some pre-buying activity. And in that real time, we're able to identify them and deliver them up for our clients.
Yeah, I think for marketing agencies, it's like a no-brainer to have a tool like this, right? Because we're constantly looking to generate more leads for our clients. That's the biggest issue. You need a short-term win. Most clients, they're starting out. Yeah, we know the media buying takes time, all of that stuff. They usually don't have lists ready. So it's a fast way of generating good results for them really quickly, setting up outbound using these campaigns and so much more you can do with the data that you guys provide, right? So in between the media buying and doing it yourself or scraping the list, I think like way better quality list.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously the results would be each skills are there. And you have systems and processes. I think the quality that you guys bring to the table is just a match made in heaven. And I think it's a must do for any marketing agency. And I think that's who most of your subscribers are right now, marketing
That's
agency.
correct. Yeah, we have right around 350 agencies that are currently utilizing the product and has been
Man, you
that
guys are growing
catalyst.
fast, Casey. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Yeah, it was a lot of time on the phone last year or on Zoom, really, in here. And
Okay.
over 200 of those agencies that were all referred by other agency owners, which was really
Nice. That's the best thing,
powerful.
right? So
Yeah.
that's my next question. Like, what's the biggest challenge you guys face at Match working with remote clients? I know, as agency owners, we're used to doing remote work. This is a little bit different. What's the biggest challenge there, like managing 350 plus clients right now?
I think the educational side, as we've beginning to grow, we did a lot of really good things last year, but we realized, man, we're doing this all one to one, and our team is pretty strong, but we're not huge. And so we're now coming in saying, okay, now we need to give good education, making sure the communication. We've prided ourselves on, hey, we're going to answer that call. We're gonna hop on the Zoom. I have some of them that are on Facebook, and they'll message me, and I'll video them, and we'll get them moving into the next step. But we've done a good job of that customer service approach probably, but now it's the educational side. And that's what we're
Hmm.
looking to now is building that community base that will help them to be able to communicate with others that are utilizing the system and get best practices that'll be in place. And that's probably going to be the biggest challenge we're facing in 2025. And then as we're coming in looking at other joint ventures is the other side that we're looking at for this year too.
Love it, man. I think, yeah, that's where you want to spend. You want to retain more clients, you want to educate them. And then in terms of community, is it going to be an inclusive community for all your clients in one place, or what are you guys planning on that side?
Yeah, as of right now, we're still looking on the finality of what we're going to do in that. It's something that I haven't personally done. I'm starting to consult with a
Yeah.
few others of how to build that out. And then we're looking to implement that over the next few weeks. But we're hoping to have all of our community members that would be in there so that they could talk to each other through the system.
Yeah, I like that. I feel that once you get to that 100 plus client mark, you got to have that one to many aspect opened up for your clients, whether it's open hours. I've seen people like Frank Kern, a lot of other people do these open support hours as well, where
Mhm.
they'll have 4 hours or 2 hours a day, and their clients can just hop into the Zoom rooms and ask any questions and live support and things like that. So that's been a kind of like a thing that I've been seeing around. But yeah, good luck with that, man. Keep me posted. Casey, where there's going to be a rapid fire round, and I want to hear your first thoughts when you hear these words. So, niche focus versus a generalized
Niche focus.
agency.
Yeah, niche focus. Boy, there's power in the niche because you're able to really create the processes that need to be there to scale. Having a generalist agency for way too stinking long, which is what I did. I never really thought about that before I went down last
Yeah,
March and spent time with Josh Nelson
yeah.
at Seven Figure, and man, that really hit me. But being able to create processes that are the same makes it a lot easier. Though in your mind, you always think that it's better to have everybody as the potential client. It just makes it harder every time you have to start and do something new.
Yeah, I think just take it as a stepping stone. Realize it. Me and Casey took way too long to realize it. When I found 4 years ago, when I found like you can niche down, I was like, aha moment for me. I'm like, where was I living under a rock? But anyways, but do not. I think that experience that Casey has gotten, I've gotten running our agencies for way too long, that you cannot write that off either, because your next breakthrough is going to come from all that work that you're doing right now. So don't underestimate it. Niche will grow it a lot faster. That's what I agree with as well. Here's my next thought that I want to hear from you: remote versus in-office teams.
So I like the remote side of things because you're not restricted to the talent that's just right next to you. Having a remote team and you can get the best of the best from all over. And that's really
Mm.
what we want. We want to provide such a great product out to our clients. And so my team is all remote. I had more of an in-house team for beginning years, but now everybody is remote. We've been able to utilize that, and it's helped us to be able to grow. Even last year, we grew about 30% in the last two quarters, last half of the year. It's but and that's with me being outside of the realm of being in that agency as much. I'm more filling the top of the
Mm.
funnel and having my team be able to handle everything from there.
Love it, yeah. Remote, obviously, we make the case for that too, but remote's the way to go. How big is your team now, Casey? And where are they located mainly?
So my team right now is where are we at? I think we have 9 that are on the team currently, and I actually have a couple that are. I have 1 or 2 that are remote here in Ohio. I have a few that are in Denver, and then we have a few that are just scattered throughout the rest of the country. I honestly can't even remember where they are right now. So we're a little bit everywhere currently.
Love it. Love it. That's a very nice spread. I like it. Here's the last one: AI myth.
AI myth. So man, I think the biggest myth is that it's going to destroy us. But I hear so many people be afraid of it. And I went down to Austin this past year, and the guy that was there actually worked on the metaverse. And
Hmm.
he gave me an interesting perspective because he had embraced it completely. He was actually a pastor down there, but he had worked for Meta as
Nice.
well as dual vocational. And he had talked about taking that AI, and his dad had passed away 10 years ago, and he had taken that AI and put video up of his dad and answered all these questions about it into the AI, and he could actually put on his goggles, walk in, and have an entire conversation with his dad. Uh,
Wow.
and I was like, man, you like, there's so many people out there talking bad. I'm like, but what can it do? And it's helping in a lot of different ways. What I don't believe is going to happen is that AI will take over everything. I still think there's a human component that people are going to want to have, that they're going to desire, and it's going to be deep. And that's probably The thing that I look at is how can I implement it, but how do I keep the human side of things back into this?
Yeah, I don't think you can disconnect the human side of it. The reason I feel that we've been able to build such technologies is because just look at the amount of data that we're consuming as human beings right now. We're like
Mhm.
superhumans right now. 10, 20, 30 years ago, our parents were not learning. Like even when I'm doing that, what do they call it? Doom scrolling these days. When I'm
Right.
doing that for countless number of hours, I'm still learning, right? Because I'm intrigued about fitness. Learning about marketing agencies, what's the latest, and I'm like doing this micro learning constantly. I'm
Yeah.
getting so many different ideas. Some of these ideas are getting back into my work, getting implemented, and so we're even supercharge ourselves. So it's only obvious that we're going to build out because we're learning so much. Obviously, we're going to build out tech that's going to build operate at a different level. And I totally agree that I think it's coming. Somebody was saying that over the next 24 months, every single business inside a business and business department is going to reinvent itself over the next 24 months. And that's a huge opportunity for anyone who wants to do that. And if you're too late on it, if you're not using AI, you're going to miss the boat. So embrace it. We took the Waymo ride in San Francisco, and that was a fun ride. We took it 3 times, me and my brothers. And the first 3 seconds you're in that car, any qualms that you have about AI or this car going crazy, they're right out the door. This is a better driver than any human being. They call it the most experienced driver in the world, right?
Mm.
Because all of them are communicating to each other. This car would go down on a steep incline and it would know that it's carrying passengers and it'll slow down on the track because so that it's a comfortable ride for me. I'm okay with this stuff.
Yeah. I think I am too. I've got my Tesla and
Love it.
hopping in that and out they updated the most recent drive and I hopped in and I'm like, it drove me from my house all the way to the other side of Columbus and parked in the parking space for me.
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
dang, like that's a whole nother level
It's
of
here, man.
just
I
that
would
driving
love that.
experience.
Yeah, I would love that. I can't wait for that. Casey, thanks for joining in today, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy man. How do people reach out to you?
Absolutely. Probably the best ways right now. You can go to our website at exactmatchmarketing.com, and there's a place there where you can sign up and do a demo with us. We'd love to show you how this can work inside of an agency and what that looks like. Feel free to check it out there or shoot me an email. Happy to answer that way. And I'm on social and Facebook. That's probably the biggest place. I'm old. I'm there and
We'll put all of
but
those up. And yeah, I if you're a marketing agency, I'm seeing Casey grow over the last 6 months. We've been knowing each other, and these guys are doing phenomenal. Some of our best clients are working with Casey and his team. 350 plus agencies are using his service. Let's check him out, see what's under the hood. Thanks a lot, Casey. I'll see you in Miami this year.
sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Woody. Bye bye.